What's up, Capstone family? This is Ed Drummond with Capstone Realty, coming at you the week of, Friday the 19th of February. We had a short week, got back into the office. Things were started out a little bit slower this week, but honestly, at the end of this week, it's just like, wow, so much is happening, so much is going on. I wanted to bring that to you so you know what's happening. We did get some pretty interesting news in the market from some of the economists that are talking about the real estate market in Phoenix. I wanted to start with that. Because some of this stuff that we're seeing, and we talk about how busy it is, we talk about what's happening in the market. For those of you contemplating selling a house, if I've spoken to you on the phone, you probably heard, like I've got the lamest joke now at this point. It's kind of like, well, the longer you wait, the more your house is going to be, right? And it's kind of how it is. The numbers that Michael Orr put out through Cromford Report, they're speculating that they think that we're going to see another like 30% increase in prices this year. And there are a lot of variables that are affecting that, but I just think that's so wild. One strong point that they mentioned was that right now in the Phoenix market, the ability for somebody to purchase, we have basically it's at 60% is this number that they're focusing on, and 60% is the affordability index, I guess, here in the valley, compared to places like San Francisco, which are like 11%. We're still at 60%. So that still makes it a place where houses are still very affordable, and there's still, I guess, some room to appreciate quite a bit in some cases. So let's see what this year looks like. We're already, we're seeing just crazy low, supply, a ton of demand, more demand than we've seen in a long, long time. And, as of this week, we see interest rates have been going down, 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 down. This week, there's a little bit of an uptick. So, 30-year rates on average are looking like they're back up to about 3. Still phenomenal rates, but who knows? That might get more people off the fence, not only to buy, but also to sell. So if you're contemplating it, let us know. We have a really, really strong program for selling houses, marketing them, giving you guys some discounts on that part of it as well to make it very, very, very enticing and get you more. So let us know if we can help on that end. I also wanted to talk about today, so the market right now, what's it looking like? Really, we've got a huge shortage of houses. At this time during any other normal year, we'd have a lot of properties that we're getting ready to put on the market through every month for the first 6 months of the year. And this year, it's a little bit slower. I think it gets back to what we talk about every week in this video, people really making sure that if they're going to sell, that it really aligns with their goals. I ran a scenario for someone here this week. They had purchased a house from us 2017. It was over in Goodyear, in an area that I've been touting a lot. I love that area for investing because rates, property values are relatively lower, houses are newer, and the rents are generally high. And the house that this person bought for $189,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square foot house, is now valued at about $275,000. Pretty good. They bought it when interest rates were about 4.5%. So not doing too bad. Their payment is still less than about $900 a month. Well, right now, rents on that place, right? This person is contemplating potentially selling, and it's like, hold on, rents on that same house are like $1,850 all day long right now in this market. And it's like, oh my gosh, to be able to cash flow potentially $700 plus a month, $700, $800, $900 potentially on a property like that is just unbelievable after only 4 years essentially. So that's the market that we're in. I love when people have conversations. I love it when I have conversations with people about what their goals are for real estate, because they're all so different, and it's all like we all have a completely different idea for what to expect in this market and what we want out of it. So it's like if we all kind of talk about it, I feel like it's almost like real estate therapy, where we're kind of talking through it together and figuring out, hey, what really makes the most sense for us moving forward. Well, cool. Hey, one thing I did want to do this week, I had an intro to someone last week, and this week I'm going to do the same. For those of you who have been, talking to maybe front desk, well, you know what? I'll let her explain it herself. I'd like to introduce Morgan. Come on in, Morgan. And she's been waiting patiently right over here, like hanging out. And hey, I wanted to bring Morgan in because she's someone that you all, if you haven't spoken to her yet, you will at some point. And she is, I mean, you're awesome at what you do. So I wanted to kind of, hey, what do you do here?
I am the receptionist, or as we like to call it, the director of first impressions. So whenever you call, I know the office is kind of weird with COVID and people not coming in, but normally I am like the first point of contact with people, whether I'm directing them to somebody else or if it's something that I'm able to handle. I kind of put my feet in a lot of different roles. I'm big on helping other people all throughout the office, whatever their task is that they need done. And something that
Because you're like a task crusher.
Pretty much.
She really is.
Yeah.
She like crushes tasks. So
Yeah.
if you need a task crushed, this is the person right here.
Definitely. Something that just came into my role that used to be handled by somebody else is handling HOAs.
Yeah.
In past jobs, I've worked in a home warranty company, so I have experience in that field as well. I got to kind of be part of what the problem is, but not a part of the solution. So that was always something that was kind of difficult for me. I like to see the end result, be a part of the end picture whenever an issue is presented. So now that I am able to start dealing with HOAs, so some of you may have already heard from me if your property has gotten an HOA violation. So that's something that I've been handling, whether it's like HOA, city violation, something big, something small. I kickstart that communication between the tenant and between the owner, and I follow up all throughout the entire thing. I know some of you I may reach out to several times.
You're very good at this.
I know.
Yeah, you're very good at this. See, you were like all anxious and worried. She totally was. Oh my gosh, you're like natural.
Yeah, so I just make sure that the properties that we manage are able to stay in compliance and off of the HOA's watch list, because sometimes it can kind of feel like a specific property is just being nailed and it's just not necessary. So I also try and create these relationships with the HOAs specifically and their community managers, so that way they know that we're not just a company that's just trying to do whatever and pass by.
Totally.
We want a relationship, so that way whenever things come up.
All right, so now cue the next story. All right, really quickly. Morgan just helped me out with a couple. So why don't you give a quick explanation of like how you helped me personally?
There are two properties of Ed's that are within an HOA, and over a period of time, it was one company that managed, because sometimes for HOAs, there's an HOA for that community, which is then managed by a bigger company that handles several HOA communities.
So you're seeing a lot of turnover in these companies right now, aren't you?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a couple of them where it's kind of hard to pinpoint, because it'll be listed that one company manages the HOA, you call them and they say, oh no, I don't manage that anymore.
Okay.
So then it just is figuring out the company.
So when the owner has it on auto pay, right? Auto pay, and we just set it and forget it, and auto pay is going to the wrong company for a few months because maybe we don't open that mail either. Then now we know that there's somebody behind the scenes, and in this case, like Morgan stepped up and she's getting it handled. She's getting, she's just taking care of it. My particular situation is going to be not specifically unique to myself, but I appreciate you going through that and seeing it through to the end to making sure that it's all getting handled. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for jumping on with me today. I totally appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and like having you in the office, you're an awesome addition to the team. Cool. You'll be seeing more of her. Thank you so much, you guys. Hey, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're trying to make this content rich so that you guys see what's going on, not only here at the office and what's going on, but with the market and really getting our take on it. So we can be real, authentic, and raw with you and giving it to you from a place of here. Look forward to talking to you again. Thanks again.